Hello writer, and welcome back to my life. Writer Wednesday, the day where I give you my best tips and advice on the art and the business of writing, tell you how to do what I do as an indie author. As per usual, today we're answering a question from one of my $5 patrons on Patreon, and today's question comes to us from Jack F., who asks, how do you handle making a scene, dialogue, exposition, or description do double or triple duty? Thanks for the question, Jack. Alright, so for those who don't immediately understand the question, making your writing do double or triple duty is when a single piece of your work accomplishes more than one objective. And so to start off answering this question, I think that we need to define, what are the duties? What are the different things that you can have your writing be trying to achieve? I thought about this one, and then I consulted with some of the other writers on my Discord server. I have a Discord server, by the way. It's pretty cool. Link in the description. And from this, I listed out what I consider to be the 5 universal duties that a piece of writing can be attempting to achieve. I wish I had a super cool acronym for you, but I don't. There's only one vowel and multiple consonants, so here they are. First is world building. In other words, establishing something about the world to make it more real in the reader's mind. Second is plot development, something occurring or happening in the plot, the story itself, the events that unfold. Third is character development, which is either something being revealed or made known to the reader about a character, or something that the character is doing that is showing a change. Something is happening with this character as they're moving forward in the story. Fourth is building tension. Talked a lot about tension in previous Writer Wednesday videos. It's important. You'll want to build it. And fifth is just pure entertainment. Just absolutely making the reader happier or more interested, making them want to continue reading. Pretty much a vital part of any book, I think at least. And before the ultra literary types get in, yes, you are entertained by your literary books. Entertainment does not mean cheap entertainment, it just means entertainment, okay? Okay. So any part of your book can be accomplishing one of these things, and if you're very clever and if you work hard at it, any part of your book can be accomplishing more than one of these things at the same time, and that's pretty cool, and here's why. The more things you can do with fewer words, the fewer words you have to use in your book overall, which prevents things from going on too long. Yes, absolutely, sometimes you want to draw things out, you want to give things some space, some time to breathe, but even in that breathing space, in that breathing time, you can still be accomplishing multiple things while the reader is more relaxed about the story that they are reading in the pages that are then going to lead to even more things happening in the future. Doing double or triple, quadruple, quintuple, whatever duty with your writing is also something that gives it extra layers and depth and extra meaning that the reader might only get when they go and read the book a second or third or subsequent time. And that's just always a cool thing. That is something that readers enjoy. That is something that I enjoy creating in my writing. So double, triple duty, something that you might want to achieve. It might not be your thing, but it's very, very cool when you can pull it off. One very quick thing on this, and this is such a general note that it almost doesn't need to be said, but I just want to clarify. When you're trying to do this, especially initially when you're still figuring out how to make your writing accomplish more than one thing at once, it's really easy to create bad writing because while you're trying to move the plot forward, you can dump a whole bunch of world building info that just stops the plot from moving at all and probably even confuses your reader. Or if you're trying to do this with character dialogue, for example, it's very easy to create, as you know, dialogue, which is that brand of really bad character dialogue where one character says to the other, as you know, Bill, my brother, who was actually born by the same mother but a different father, but in our society that doesn't mean much. Yeah, Bill does know that. So why would he ever, ever, ever say that in a million years? It's bad dialogue. Don't write like that. So how do you achieve this double or triple duty without delving into the bad side of really over-explainy just writing? The answer, which you might already have heard if you're particularly observant in the earlier answers, is editing. I only achieve this through editing. In my early outlining, and usually also in my first drafts at least, and your experience might be different, but for me, my first drafts, my writing is only ever really doing one thing at a time. I'm accomplishing one of the 5 duties, the 5 objectives, but I'm not doing more than one at once because I'm just trying to get the words out on the page. It's only when I'm going back through it that I start to analyze each piece of writing on this list of what is this piece of writing accomplishing? And sometimes it is fine for your writing to just be doing one thing at a time. Not everything has to move your plot forward, not everything has to develop character, not everything has to build tension. Sometimes you can just entertain. Sometimes you can just take a moment that's not even particularly entertaining, but which does build character, and that's it. That's fine. But you can start to look at your writing, and in particular, if you feel like a section is too slow, or goes on too long, or takes too long to get where where it's going, see where you can cut it down. Is there dialogue that can include some world building information in it, just as a little subtle aside that will prevent you from having to explain it later? Is there description or action that can both develop character and build tension at the same time? You're probably already familiar with the idea that when you're editing your work, you should be trimming it down a little bit in some places, cutting out things that don't belong, scenes that don't really accomplish anything, and characters that aren't of much use to the story. As part of the same process, you can also economize on your writing itself. If you've got two pieces of writing right next to each other that each accomplish one of these, sort of universal objectives, see if you can combine them into a single piece of writing that does both at the same time. Again, not a hard and fast rule. You can absolutely have sections of your book that just do one thing at one time, but it's something that's worth considering, because the more impact each piece of your writing has, the more impact your whole book is going to have on your reader. Thank you so very much to Jack F. for the question. I hope you and others found the answer helpful. A reminder to the rest of you that my $5 patrons on Patreon, like Jack F., are the only ones who get to ask me questions to cover in this video series, and they also get the videos 2 weeks ahead of everyone else. If you want to become one of those awesome and incredibly attractive individuals, check out my Patreon link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye!